What up, family? Welcome back to I Said the podcast for all things sports. And today we're going to get into where's the best place for Lamar Jackson to end up since he demanded a trade on the 2nd of this month and we just now finding out about it. Also, Blair has the number 3 overall pick. Where is he going to go? Are we going to agree or disagree? And also, we got to talk about the NCAA finals, man. The Final Four. We're going to get into some Washington Commanders news as well. Next on Yeah City Sports. Subscribe, y'all. Please subscribe. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let's go. What up, family? Welcome back to I Said It, the podcast for all things sports, the podcast for the fans, by us, the fans. I am your co-host, Chris, and I got the entire team with me here today. I got everybody here. Blair.
What's up,
Brianna,
what's up?
John, and Darius. What's up, family?
What's up?
You know we got to get into it. Breaking news as of yesterday? As of yesterday, Lamar Jackson tweeted, just as his former head coach, current head coach, whatever you want to call him, sat down, the coach of the Ravens, let's call it like that, sat down for his press conference at the owners meeting and said that I asked for a trade weeks ago. I'm just letting y'all know now. And this is interesting. So we wanted to debate where is the best place for Lamar Jackson to go. But before we get there, I just would like to give Brianna the floor and let her feelings out. It's anything that she would like to say.
No feelings.
Are you okay? Is there anything that you want to say to Lamar? Things of that nature.
I am from Baltimore. I'm a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. So whether he stays or goes, I'm a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. I don't care. Second of all, I don't think he's gonna go nowhere. Like, nobody's making no moves. I think he's gonna stay. Whether he plays or not, it's up to him. It's gonna look bad on his part if he does not play, if he sits out the whole season.
Does it?
But it is. Yeah, it's gonna look bad on him. But I mean, regardless, the train gonna keep moving. I'm a fan of Baltimore. So whether he on the team or not, I'm a fan of the team.
Surprised. Brianna, are you surprised that it came to him having to ask for a trade?
No. I'm happy that they kept it under wraps for so long, and they was trying to keep it private for a very long time. And I think now that he's got it out, it's kind of like, you really what are we supposed to do with this information now? Like, you put it out there. We were trying to keep it undercover. So now you put it out there. I mean, what are we supposed to do with it? Ain't nobody budging. You done ask for a trade since the beginning of the month. Nothing is happening. There's no movement.
The word is collusion. It's collusion. Period.
That's what they say.
All right.
That's the word on the curb.
That's word on the street.
Yeah. Now that he has said that I want to be traded, okay, what is the best team that you feel like should go ahead and make that move and trade for Lamar Jackson? We all know that it's probably going to either be 1 or 2 first-round picks. Who cares? Maybe a player or something if they want to do. I don't know what the rules are specifically for this particular trade and how, because they franchise them and how they franchise them and things like that. Can they work a deal on the side? I'm not totally clear with that. Yeah, I think they have to give them 2 1s if they go that route. I don't know if Baltimore can then do like a side thing that is different from what they've already given him, as far as, because he hasn't signed anything, so they can still, but they contractually have his rights because they tagged him. So I don't know how that works, but either way nor there, It's neither here nor there. What is the best team for Lamar to go to? And I'm going to start with my man Blair.
I want to say this. July 17th, you're going to find out if they was colluding or not. Because that's when he can no longer talk to any teams. And if literally nobody inquires about Lamar Jackson until then, it's all rigged, bro. That's all I got. I don't know about where Lamar should go. Like, my thing is, what would be the best place for him?
What's the best place? What is the best place you feel like they need to go ahead and plunge and go ahead and do that thing?
Give me 2 seconds, bro. I need to check cap space real quick.
I mean, they can trade away some players.
Cap space.
They better be worth it. They gotta
do cap space now. Like, you got to play the cap space game now.
I understand.
That's why I need to know who has cap space.
What are you saying, Brianna?
It got to be worth it. We giving you Lamar Jackson. You can't give us no boo-boo bag. We don't want none of them trash niggas on the bench. You got to give us somebody worth it.
Where would you like, if not on Baltimore?
Y'all done blew that chance, bro.
Y'all already blew it.
That's why he not going nowhere. He's gonna be right there in Baltimore.
Blew that chance.
My nigga
Brianna says he's not going anywhere.
He's gonna be.
Brianna said he's not going anywhere, and that is entirely possible.
Whether he plays or not, that's his decision. That's what whether he decides to pull.
I get it.
Kawhi Leonard or not, that's his business.
But Brianna, where would you like him to go?
Though? If he don't play, I wouldn't.
If he's not on Baltimore, where would you like?
I feel like if he doesn't play, it's gonna be a bad look on him.
Why?
Because then you talked about team.
No.
Time out.
We are past team. We was past team when we didn't get that deal, and I didn't play them last 6 games. That team, that's dead.
That's out the window. I done that. I played Mr. Nice Guy. I even asked.
The reason I wasn't sure about Brianna, because Brianna's a Baltimore fan, but Sean said it too. So I'm curious why Sean thinks it's a bad look if he don't play. You shook your head, when she said it earlier. If Lamar sits out.
I was saying that. No, it is.
I was curious, bro. I'm like, how does that look bad on Lamar for sitting out? That's no different from a running back who never got paid or somebody who wants to. He gave you him for 5 years. 4.5 if you count the last 6 games of that last season. What is he supposed to do now? He's supposed to still bleed black and purple?
No, at this point you're not. Like, you told us you don't want to be here. You
so
don't.
Why is it a bad move?
So that's cool.
What's the wrong?
Yeah, that's
not playing.
No, that's cool. You don't bleed black and purple because you already said you don't want no parts of this. So we already know that you're not Baltimore for real. At this point, that's cool.
That he was balling.
Yeah, like
they hosed him first, bro. I don't get it.
What you mean?
He's been balling for years.
I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know how much. I can't tell you how much he's asking for. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. All I can tell you is,
let me ask you. You saying all that? Do you think Lamar Jackson, who as a Baltimore fan deserves $175 to $200 million guaranteed?
I think he deserves 175 to 185 guaranteed.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I do.
I disagree with that.
All right. They ain't even get
close. You don't think he worth that, Chris?
Close to that.
I think he needs to get between 190 and 200 on up. 190 on up.
Is this a 5-year agreement for 5 years?
5 year. Whatever Kyler Murray got, he need to get significantly more. So I'm gonna say 200 on up. Because Kyler Murray ain't did diddly squat, but he got 189 guaranteed. But if I'm trading for Lamar Jackson in the best team, I feel like that should go.
I had to find the cap space.
Go ahead.
If they were willing, which they don't seem to be, if they were willing to get off Jared Goff, he would look great in the Lions uniform, bro. They have the 3rd most cap space out of everybody. You ain't sending him to the Bears. The Bears got the most cap space. The Panthers are next. No.
That is a great place for him to go. Think about that, y'all.
I'm sorry. They got something nice in Detroit, bro. They really do. They're one of the few teams that has the most of the pieces in place. Everybody's pretty much paid there.
It works
Wouldn't you
out.
love that?
I'm personally
like
don't think it's
that.
going to happen. They like Jared Goff way too
Wait a
much.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
He
minute.
did
Wait a
not
minute.
do poorly last year.
We got to call it. Yeah, I said a timeout. Timeout. So I got to ask this question. It's just for Blair. If this does happen, and the Lions do get Lamar Jackson, are you now officially going to be repping the Detroit Lions?
Yep.
Here's what you're going to get out of me. You're going to get the same. Detroit is my team. We'll see.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'll be with it. I don't know if I'm going to start buying jerseys or whatever. You may see a Lions hat. You might see a Lions hat. But I never said I don't rep Detroit. Y'all know I like the Lions. They by default is my team. I love their trash. I hate the way they did Barry. I can never let that go, bro. I don't know what you want me to do with that. I can't
let it go, man.
I can move.
Barry shows up. He does
the
little promos for the Lions now.
We can move forward cautiously. Cautiously.
I feel you. I feel you.
This is the Detroit Lions we are talking about. Everything needs to be cautiously, bro. Cautiously. They look good. They made some good strides last year. They pretty much finished the season about 500.
Lamar Jackson
about 500%, a little lower. I'm cool with that. Those are greats. Nobody thought they were even going to win 5 games. The over-under was 5. They got like 8 or 9 out of that. I'm proud of the Lions. They need to keep moving forward.
I really, really like with that. I really, really like that. Him going to Lamar Jackson to the Lions. Think about the receivers they got.
They have everything else. Like they have good receivers, really good receivers. They got running backfield days. Like they got people to take it off.
One of the best, probably one of the best offensive lines in the league. You got two tackles that's good. Hey man,
but they made Jared Goff look like a Pro Bowl guy last year. Like Jared Goff had nice numbers.
I like that.
Goff had nice numbers before he got there.
Yeah, I guess they was all right. He just folded when it counted. The Lions ain't made it to the part where he gonna fold yet, cuz is where I'm at. I don't know. That was his issue. They didn't believe he could take them over the top. I feel like if they get Lamar in there and they work on the actual passing accuracy, if Lamar gets on a team that has receivers and he's terrible, then we'll know what Lamar Jackson is. I mean, they paid Mike Vick to find out. I don't get it.
I don't know. We got to find out. The nigga led the league in passing touchdowns when he won MVP.
Obviously, they don't think that was real or something. I don't know, bro. Like, again, you see all these things that crop up that make no sense about Lamar Jackson and the way they're treating Lamar Jackson. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But that lets you know it's not a player thing. That's an owner thing. Like, that's the
I believe so.
Billionaires at the top doing that. That ain't the players doing that.
I believe so. Sean, where would you think is the best place you would trade? I like the Detroit Lions one. Where do you think the best? What's the team that needs to go ahead and step up and like, hey, this is it. This is our time. Let me get Lamar.
For wherever he going, it ain't gonna be their time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Not gonna go to an AFC North team. He's gonna have to go to the NFC. Same way they doing Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna have to go to the NFC. If he was to go to an AFC team, it'd probably be an AFC South team, the Texans or the Colts. But I'm gonna stick with the NFC. And it's got to be an owner that's going to really be willing to come out of his own pocket and spend some bread. So we're supposed to be talking about the Washington Commanders later on. And we know Daniel Snyder ain't afraid to spend that bread. So I think he can do some dickhead shit. Yeah, I said it. He can do some dickhead shit, drop that bread and leave. And let them niggas pay for the shit. Just be a straight dickhead. Hey, here go $250 million. All right, give me that 6 and let's go. He can do some straight dickhead shit just like that because he's a dickhead. But honestly, I would like to see him in Atlanta jersey. The whole city of Atlanta would go crazy. They will make some money for that building that they just threw up there. Just like Mike was going crazy in them sneakers. I think he can do the same damn thing and get a real deal, branding deal being in Atlanta. He fits the bill for Atlanta. He's like basically like a not like a Batman, but you know how they be doing like with LeBron and shit. Like he's basically like a bad guy kind of way. He's standing on his own too. He ain't got no agent, the whole 9 yards. You got you got owners against him. So I think that would be a good fit for as the city, for as him winning a ring or anything that comes behind that, accolades, anything. He's not gonna get sent to no team, especially after he done put that out there, that news of him being traded. If he would have shut the fuck up, he probably could have got sent to a B-list team. Never know. But I would like to see him in Atlanta, or wouldn't be surprised in Washington either. That's my pick.
I feel that. Darius, I like that. Darius, what would you like for Lamar Jackson? What's the team that best fits Lamar Jackson for you?
Well, Sean took mine because I was going with Atlanta. Also, I've been saying Atlanta. And y'all know I've been saying Atlanta for the longest. Hey, them boys gonna come get Lamar Jackson. Realistically, if I had to say he could go to an AFC team to make things interesting, you should go to the Raiders. Raiders should just abandon their quarterback, whatever. I forgot who they traded. I don't care who it was. Who they
Garoppolo,
traded?
Jimmy
G. Man, fuck Jimmy G. Put him on the bench. Put him in the trade package. Get him to Las Vegas. He got Josh Jacobs, who's been top 3 running backs like the past 2 years. Offensive line is decent. He got probably the best target you can have in Devontae Adams. And he still got Hunter Renfrow. They just signed I think Jacoby Myers. So yeah, have some targets down there. He can make some shit interesting in the AFC West. That would be crazy. I feel like that
Jimmy G ain't terrible. We'll take him.
He ain't Lamar Jackson though.
He not, but he ain't Snoop either.
Hey, but now you got Jimmy G. The only target he got is Mark Andrews. When Lamar Jackson was in trouble,
anybody got.
When Lamar Jackson was in trouble, shit, this nigga put the Jets on. This nigga Jimmy G gonna put a brace on because his ass gonna get hurt.
Thanks. So the team that I have that I would like for him to go to, and I feel if they were somehow, some way able to add Lamar Jackson, is the San Francisco 49ers. If the San Francisco 49ers found some way, somehow, to get Lamar Jackson, it's over. They going to the Super Bowl. They going. Don't care how you feel about it. They going. What you got to say?
Okay, look at they star guys on offense, bro. The way set up, it will be a terrible disaster. You got Christian McCaffrey and you got Debo, who think he's a running back too. So now you got 3-star running backs.
They already.
I feel like that's fine.
Wait a minute. Don't wait a minute now.
I'm gonna run a 5 defense.
Wait a minute.
I don't think so. Because if that was the case, niggas would run 5-2s and kill it now.
Thank you.
What did Debo do this year?
Debo was good. He got hurt.
Was not good. Don't agree with that, Chris, because you'll have 3 running backs, bro.
No, that's not true.
Hold on, y'all was killing. I'm talking about during seasons and before seasons. Before everybody look back at the film, y'all used to kill him about he ain't got no arm, he ain't got no receivers to throw to. Y'all used to kill him about that shit. What he gonna do now with 3 running backs?
He got Debo. Debo is not just some running back. They
San
can use him
Francisco
in
doesn't
different
run a similar
spots.
offense to Baltimore.
Baltimore.
It's different.
Debo Samuel.
Don't let go.
Christian-
I'm telling you that now.
Debo Samuel.
Samuel.
Christian McCaffrey. Them niggas better than anybody this nigga done thrown to at Baltimore.
Period. It's not even close.
One of them niggas got to be in the package deal to get Lamar.
No,
He
they
ain't
don't.
like
No,
that.
they don't. Why do you keep trying to assume they have to trade a player? They don't. They just gotta offer him a contract and give you two number ones. They don't have to make.
They gotta give you none of these people.
Hey, I'll send.
We're not falling for it.
If you want somebody, I'll send you George Kittle. Guess what? And he worth it too.
We go. I
like George Kittle actually, but
hey, y'all can have him.
A first
You
round.
ain't getting. You getting these 2 first-round picks
and
get the step.
They're not trading George Kittle. That ain't happening.
Nah, they not. They not.
It's not happening regardless.
I understand because you see your wheels are turning because you're like, oh hell no, that ain't right. Because I know if they were somehow able to get Lamar Jackson, bro, come on, bro, it is game over. What are you going? How are you going to defend these guys, bro?
Blow up the team to get him, man.
No, you have to blow it up in about 2 years.
You're gonna blow that team up, bro.
Yeah, and eventually, yeah. But if I'm,
Debo got paid.
Do you think the Rams are regretting going to get their Super Bowl? No, I think they like we got our Super Bowl. Time to start over. I'm good with that. Guess how many? Guess what? It's a whole bunch of other teams that still ain't got no Super Bowl.
Let's be realistic though. You John Lynch, you're gonna have to give up some shit to get Lamar Jackson, and it ain't gonna be
my 2 first-round picks.
Nah,
2 first-round picks.
That gonna fly.
Listen, bro.
I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Give up my 2 first-round picks.
You think we're gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll take them 2 first-round picks?
I would say
if they are able to make cap room, that's what I'm saying. If they're able to make cap room by letting somebody who's getting too much, that's making too much money, that's really not performing, whether that be on defense or offense, and they're able to make cap room.
We don't want no boo-boo. We don't want no boo-boo.
It doesn't matter. What is Atlanta going to trade for them? What is Atlanta going to give him?
Exactly.
They giving up picks.
Thank you.
We don't want them 2 first-round picks. We don't want them.
You also don't
yes, y'all. Wait a minute, Brianna. Yes, y'all do, because that's what y'all don't want. The tender that y'all put on them. Y'all want 2 first-round picks, and that's it.
First-round picks.
That's what they said, but that ain't what's happening. You see, ain't nothing happening. You see, ain't no movement going on.
See, listen, that other thing, and another thing is that other GMs don't want to do the work for the Ravens. Why would I go ahead and pay him what he's asking for? I would pay him for the Ravens to just match it, and then I'm stuck. I
don't think we're gonna match.
Like I'm stuck with nothing. I did all this work for nothing.
At this point, he said he doesn't want to be here. So we're not like, what would we match it for? You don't want to be here.
No, you will match. Listen, you put the tender on him to match.
Right.
Your coach is still out there talking about we still love Lamar. He is still our quarterback. He is still under contract with us.
We love Baltimore. That's what he's supposed to say.
What he's supposed to say. That's what he's supposed to say. He's the coach. He's supposed to say that.
He can be like you and be like, he don't bleed that purple and black. So I'm cool on that nigga. That's what he can be like.
I didn't say I'm cool on that nigga. I didn't say that. I said it is what it is.
Mike Tomlin said, we want volunteers and not hostages. That's all I'm saying.
That is it. If you don't want to be here, then don't be here.
If you don't want to be here, then take Joe Flacco off my hands and you can have him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have him back. That's what you want.
I ain't never
that's what you had.
I ain't never playing Joe Flacco. He won us a Super Bowl. I ain't never gonna play Joe. That's my nigga.
Well, there you go. You can have him back. Take this 2 first-round picks and Joe Flacco and give them to the Jets or some shit. Then
you can go to the Jets. If that's where he want to be at.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. Moving on, but that'd be fire. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? What's the best team y'all think Lamar Jackson? NCAA tournament, men's and women's. We have the Final Four that is set. All right. In the men's bracket, we have San Diego State, and they're playing Florida Atlantic. Then you have UConn, and they're playing the University of Miami, the U, which is crazy.
The U.
Which is crazy. And then on the women's bracket, we have number 3 seed LSU playing Virginia Tech, and they can play too. I watched them play the other night.
They was balling.
The other game, we have Iowa versus South Carolina, who is on a historic pace by beating everybody in historic fashion. All right. So, who y'all got winning these national championships, man? On the men's side, on the women's side.
That's gonna be a good ass game.
Yes.
Iowa and South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Caitlin with all that smoke.
All of it.
Now I'm not saying I ain't saying they're gonna win, but Caitlin is like that. I like Kate.
Who you got winning the women's tournament and the men's tournament, Brianna?
I got South Carolina winning it all, just because they're doing something special down there in South Carolina. Dawn is not playing. She's about it. So I got South Carolina winning it all. But it's gonna be a good game. I had Texas winning it all for the men. You see how that worked out for me. I'm gonna go with UConn now. Just gonna pick somebody.
You went with who? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go with UConn.
UConn? I agree with you there. I like UConn. I think I got UConn to win it all on the men's side. Oh man. On the women's side, I think it's pretty much easy for me as far as who's gonna win it. I got South Carolina now. My girls got knocked out the other night.
I'm about to say
they couldn't make some shots, man, and got some unfortunate calls, but it's all right, man. We had to take it on the chin. They'll be back next year. They're a young team. They're gonna be back next year. It's all right. But I got South Carolina. Hey, man, they about to do the thing, man. They got it, bro. They got it. I mean, what else can you say about them, man? They just the best team in women's college basketball. Shit. They might give some of these niggas out here on the men's bracket some run for their money, too, the way that they playing. They balling. Who you got, Sean?
I got South Carolina for the women. I got UConn for the men. But I ain't sleeping on the U. Isaiah Wong is a beast. They coach very well.
Oh, no.
It's going to come down to them, too, but I'm going to go with UConn.
All right. Darius, who you got, my boy?
For the women, you already know. You got versus South Carolina. There's been some good games. I do think it's going to be a good game between them and Iowa, but USC for sure. Men's, this has been such a crazy ride. I don't think I had any of these teams making the Elite Eight. I'm going with Miami. Just because I done watched they come up, the past couple of years, but that comeback on Texas the other night, that was good. So I feel like Uncle Mo might be with them right now. So I'm riding with Miami all the way to the top.
That's fair. Blair, who you got winning these national championship games?
South Carolina and UConn.
Who?
South Carolina and UConn.
Hey. Yeah, I like UConn too. So
I like
We'll see, man,
UConn
how it
as
all
a
shakes out.
traditional basketball school. Those dudes they've always been a good traditional basketball school. And I like it that they went back to it. Like, screw football, man. We're gonna make it real about basketball, and we're gonna go from there. You know, they switched back to the Big East so they can go back to basketball. So
Yeah.
I think it was legit. That was a good thing for them. They were always really good. You know, they put together a good program in UConn. So I think UConn has a good shot. Dudes, college basketball is weird because you'll end up watching it and you see these guys and you start watching teams and certain dudes, but then you realize in the actual winning a national championship, like, takes a little bit more of a team effort in college. One dude can carry you for a little while, but at some point, like, he's gonna need some help. It just happens that way, you know. So,
Facts. South Carolina, I think.
Michigan State, they lost. So,
what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do?
Right. It is what it is.
But moving on. Just before we wrap up, go to the next segment. We do have some breaking news in the world of basketball. The Hall of Fame class has just been announced. So the people who have made the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, the class of 2023 is going to be headlined by Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Gasol, Tony Parker, Becky Hammond, and Coach Greg Popovich. So congratulations to those legends in the game.
In the Hall already.
He was not. He just got in. It literally just came into my phone like a few minutes ago. So congratulations to all those guys for making it into the Basketball Hall of Fame. But we're going to move on to our next topic, which is the third pick in the NFL draft. And the third pick in the GM in this third pick that has this third pick is going to be Blair. Blair has the third pick in the draft. All right. And he is going to be making the pick for the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, guys. So the Arizona Cardinals needs, as according to Pro Football Focus, they need a guard, a center, a defensive tackle, and a cornerback, DB. So it's going to be interesting which way Blair decides he needs to lean for said pick. Obviously, if you've been following this series, with the first pick, I traded it, and they traded in real life then. So therefore, Darius and Sean picked. So the first pick, Sean went for Carolina Panthers. He went with CJ Stroud. Darius followed up with Bryce Young. So, Blair, you are now on the clock. Who would you like to pick for the Arizona Cardinals and or do something else? You the GM, not us, not me. What's going on?
Hilarious. I'm a best available guy, bro. I believe in picking the best available for the position. And I also think they need to shore up some spots. So I'm going with Will Anderson.
Ooh.
Good pick.
All right. That is the best available, bro. I'm not like, there's no point of trying to reach somewhere or stretch somewhere else. Dude was one of the best players in the SEC. He should be all right in the NFL. So I'm going Will Anderson, man. I don't see, they could trade it, but they need somebody. JJ's gone. Their defense wasn't super great last year, so they still need some lineman help. So I'll go with that.
So you would rather do that than trade the pick?
Trade it away? Yeah, why not? Again, I prefer going with the best available. Like, they could trade it out, and you can hope you hit on some dudes later in the draft, try to fill some holes. But, like, if you got the third pick in the first round, I mean, you got the third pick in the second round, too. They are going to be fine.
Yeah, I ain't going to lie
to you. Bro. Like, you got a high pick in every round. So, somebody good should be available after the first round. At center, at tackle, guard, all of the spots we can try to shore up. They like getting DBs in the second round anyway. But if the dude is legit and Will Anderson is supposed to be that guy, we might as well take him. We can move some guys, cut some guys, and figure it out. They expected JJ to be there, so they are a guy short for what they wanted to do, and that's what he is. So I'm cool with that.
Facts. His freshman year, he had 8 sacks. Sophomore year, 15 sacks. This past season, he had 14 sacks. A lot of his production, a lot of people wanted him to increase his production for this coming season because, he was thought to be the number 1 slam dunk overall pick. But he got so much attention this past season. He was getting double teamed, triple teamed.
What is he supposed to do? And he still
what
has
is he supposed to do?
Win share rates out of that. So
what is he supposed
to do?
And I think personally, he's the best, regardless of position. I think him and Mr. Carter, Jalen Carter for Georgia, are the 2 best players in this draft. But and that's no disrespect to anybody else. There ain't no disrespect to the quarterbacks in this draft.
And see, I thought about Jalen Carter first, but I'm like, with all his stuff going on and not really knowing what's up with that, it's probably easier to go with Will Anderson.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I have no problem with your pick. Anybody got a problem with what that man went with? I ain't got no problem.
No, I think it's a good pick. I probably would have took Jalen Carter, but I think it's still a great pick.
Yeah, I think Will Anderson is going to end up being probably the better pick, just because I have no doubts about his work ethic.
Do they have doubts about Jalen Carter work ethic? I thought it was just this thing that happened, and now you got to take a second look at everything, every decision.
Plays off, bro. He a big dude, bro. He a big dude. He be taking plays off.
Oh, okay.
And that too. He can. I mean, they both can tend to disappear, but shit, when you really literally are the best player on your defense and all the attention is to you.
He is a big guy.
Yeah, I like the pick. That, and I feel like the Cardinals desperately need some pass rushing. They lost what's the name to the Raiders last season. So yeah, they definitely need some pass rushing. I think Will Anderson is that guy. So our last and final topic is the Washington Commanders. They apparently have 2 bids for people to buy 2 different groups, I should say, to buy the Washington Commanders. It looks like the bids are for $6 billion with a B $billion. Wow. I mean, I think the first group has Magic Johnson in the first group, and it's his group. I don't know who's in the second group. Sean, you know what they bid? The other group bid? Did they bid the same thing? They matched.
They matched.
All those business dudes are like, this is getting ridiculous, bro.
So the guy that did the other bid besides the Magic Johnson group, actually, you might, but I'm almost certain. But the first billionaire, he's a Canadian billionaire.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the industrialist dude. Yeah.
The second group was with Magic Johnson, the dude that owned the 76ers and the hockey team.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's yeah, I mean, the money is there, and they were talking about what they paid for the Broncos.
Oh yeah, that's just one dude. Yeah, Steve Apolopoulos. He got a crazy last name, Papadopoulos. Some of those Papadopoulos.
You're brave for trying that.
Hippopotamus.
Is he? But the thing is he really gonna sell? Do y'all really think they're gonna really sell the team?
Yeah,
I think he's really gonna sell it. I think he's done with it now. Like, I think he done made up his mind. Like, I'm cool on this. I done what I could. I tried. He done thrown. Hey, you can't say one thing we can't say about Buddy. He ain't cheap. He ain't cheap. That's one thing you can't say. He definitely. I feel like he really tried to win, but I think he went about it the wrong way.
Who really tried to win?
I think he really tried to win for a second there.
Dan Snyder.
Yeah, when he was paying all those players to try to win games. Shit, he was trying to win. I just don't think it was the smartest way to go about.
To me lends to the terrible nature of how they ran that organization.
But that's what I'm
because
saying.
You keep like if you shouldn't strike out on everybody you take a chance. They struck out on everybody, which makes me think they went after those people for the names and not the talent. They got them all a year or two too late. Like everybody was paid. Of course, that's that whole erroneous Alberts Hangworth $100 million thing. Like that's the whole thing about football, bro. Like I don't think he was trying to win at all. I think at first he might have cared a little, but I don't know how much he tried to win. And most of the success came from the holdovers that had nothing to do with him. Once he started like enforcing how that team works, that team went down the tubes. I assume he's a difficult guy to work for. Seems like he's probably difficult to work for. Maybe not necessarily for players, because players probably don't have a huge interaction with Dan Snyder. You know what I'm saying? But like he just interacts with the coaches. But he keeps picking terrible GMs. Terrible. Like some of the longest coach I read, the longest coach was Schottenheimer. He had 5 years. Like that was the long, and he didn't know. Like nobody has a winning record. Who was a coach? Schottenheimer might have had one. He might have been 3 games over, but like nobody has a winning record that coached for that team, which means every department in that team is screwed. They have the wrong people in charge. You see how that works? Like as bad as Baltimore, and everybody talks about Baltimore, they build teams that are competitive. They have a certain philosophy for football, and they try to fill the holes that way. Steelers are the same way. Washington was never that way. They were before he bought them. That's why they were so good and looked so attractive. They have not been that since he took over, which means he didn't retain any of the people that made the organization great in the first place. Which means they have terrible talent evaluation. Like a lot of that stuff is what you listen to when some dude is like, man, he got all the tools, and they always equating these players to other players. Like, you need to not do that. Like, y'all need to have a good system that drafts good players.
I don't know, because I think what really set Washington back was RG3 blowing his knee.
But that was the way they handled that all as an organization explains the organizational dysfunction, bro.
I feel you on that, but I feel like as even with the dysfunction, if RG3 wouldn't have got hurt, we would probably view them in a better light now. Because Buddy was good, and that team was going to be good. That team was going to be pretty good. And Alfred Morris doing doing the bat, knocking stuff out of the park. They had some decent receivers. The defense was all right. And it's just like, it's kind of like, it was more sudden than Andrew Luck, but it's just kind of like, okay, we found our guy, and then all of a sudden, it's just over.
But they did that.
I agree with that part. I agree with that part. Yeah,
you could be right saying they could have possibly been better, but I feel like their organizational issues hampers the team.
I agree.
Shanahan, good coach. His success wasn't the same as it was in Washington and as it was in Denver. Like, it's just one of those things. I get it. You know, players, personnel, timing, health has a lot to do with it. But, like, if you think about it in terms of, yeah, he spent money here or there on these players, but he never really paid them. It looked like they had large contracts, but none of that stuff's guaranteed. You cut these dudes, you don't owe them nothing. Like, it seems like he paid a lot of money for some of them guys, but he didn't. Because you don't pay a lot of money to a guy on a guaranteed deal and then he don't play for you after a year. But if it ain't nothing guaranteed, it don't matter what that number is on that contract. That number could say you getting $150 million, you got $25 million guaranteed. Once that $25 million is gone, none of that rest of that money is real. It's just on a piece of paper. Like, none of that money is real. Now I have to go back and look to see, but a lot of their big name contracts, them people never even played for them longer than a season, other than maybe Santana Moss, who got 10 years in. They signed McNabb. I think he did one. Hainsworth was 100 million. I think he did one. Like they signed all these dudes a little too late.
I mean, fair criticism, but I don't know who's going to buy the team. I don't know if he's actually going to buy the team. Who's actually going to buy the team?
Those bids are real, bro. You don't
yeah.
if he's gonna actually sell the team. He might be trying to wait to see if somebody gonna offer more than $6 billion, but I doubt it.
No, because that's already gonna be the record.
That doesn't, but yeah, that's just the new record. But he's already been evaluated. It's already been evaluated that high. Like the Broncos, so they wasn't evaluated nowhere near that. So Snyder could be like, I could squeeze 9 out of this. Like, nah, bro, they're not doing that.
6.5.
That's bro. I'm giving you more than enough. I'm giving you $200 million more. You can eat it. 6 is 200 million more than his worth. What are we doing? What are we splitting hairs over at this point?
Yeah,
he needs to go. Right. He needs to go. But the problem with Snyder is the rest of those owners aren't like that much better than Daniel Snyder.
Oh, no.
You don't know their stuff, but they're not that much better as a business person than Daniel Snyder because all of them got their money from being sharks. Like that, you don't get to make billions of dollars unless you're a shark, bro. Like, unless you're willing to screw some folks over somewhere along the line, you don't make that much money. But once you get into that money category, all of y'all kind of protect each other because y'all kind of understand, like, you know, you can't kick them out for egregious things that you would if your company had this problem because it's 32 billionaires. That's like, it's a slippery slope for, you know, removing owners for being scumbags. Because if you find out that most of them are scumbags, everybody's going to want them out. And they're like, yeah, it's just going to be replaced with another scumbag who covered his stuff up better. Like like these dudes aren't you know what I mean? Like they all have a thing. It's just crazy that they let him make it this long and that all these stories come out. The $55 million against the team is like, seriously? You took out a loan and just skipped the board and all this other stuff that they're reporting, bro. It's wild that he had a team this long doing all that stuff. He ain't the only one. He just ain't.
He's the only one we know of.
He's the only one that they were willing to turn on.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, you know.
But he's all evidence on the commissioner.
You say what?
He's the one who's
bro, the commissioner is the dude that signed off on the erroneous $55 million loan for the NFL.
Exactly. He got his hand in the cookie jar too. We all go down.
The commissioner works for those dudes. Like everybody that thinks Roger Goodell is wrong. He literally does whatever the owners want.
Exactly.
He's kept his job this long.
And he just got a 4-year extension. So if anybody try to tell you that,
I know they was working on the deal. Did they finalize it? It's a 4-year deal?
They're working on a 4-year extension. It's pretty much done, but they're working on it. He about to get paid because he's making these boys billions. So
he makes them a lot of money and he does what they want him to do.
And that's his job.
Not violate the owners. Like the owners are really in charge. It is not Roger Goodell.
Oh, that's true.
They've done a good job of making it look like Roger Goodell is in charge. He is not in charge.
He is not.
No. What I was saying to that statement to where you said you don't understand why he stood around so long.
Because he does have information on them dudes. Right. Bro. Yeah.
That's why all of them stick around.
That's why all of them do it until they don't want to no more because they all have dirt on each other.
It's when one you do something that's so detrimental, and it's like, bro, everybody else can hold their shit. You cannot hold your shit.
You too loose with it. Like you just too loose with your stuff, bro. And you got to think these dudes take international water trips together. They go to international waters to have fun and to do stuff. They go on each other's boats to places that's like, they went where together?
Not boats, yachts.
Yachts.
There's a difference.
Not a boat, a yacht. You're right, a yacht.
There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference. But
Right.
I hope he sells the team, and that's gonna wrap it up for us today, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody you know, your uncles, sisters, cousins, brothers, sisters, nieces, cousins, best friend about us. Continue to like, share, subscribe. We out. Deuce.
Peace. Bro,
Till next